You're welcome, Grand Rapids.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine being any other celebrity talking about Grand Rapids?
I cannot.
All right.
Good evening, Grand Rapids, and welcome to NewsFlash. I'm your anchor, Drew.
And I'm your other anchor, Donovan. And last week's winter storm, also known as the Super Bowl for DoorDashers, it may have closed down schools and slowed businesses down, but it didn't stop our reporting, except for last week when we canceled. But tonight, we have the local, national, and world news you may have missed.
You're welcome, Grand Rapids. This is
NewsFlash. Tonight is a special news flash because Drew and I both work in the tech booth over there.
Yup, Union Strong. Give it up for the hardworking folks in Stage Tech. It's a job where nobody cares if you do it right, but everyone knows when you make a mistake.
That's right, and working at the Comedy Project gives great benefits such as a 401k plan with a flat 10% match and high-quality health insurance plans.
And that's not all. The Comedy Project even covers 100% of healthcare premium costs, which is a rare for a business to do, especially in sketch comedy.
If you'd like to apply for a job at the Comedy Project, then print your resume and deliver it to Sean Francis's apartment on 55 Ionia Avenue in downtown Grand Rapids. That's the Morton building. It's right across from the probation and prosecutor's office, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, judging by how often you brandish guns in improv. Anyway, back to the important breaking news.
Our top story tonight, Trump has officially passed 1 year of his second term. Sorry to get your hopes up there, but you know, when a writer uses ellipsis, you just kind of have to follow through.
All right, West Michigan faced a polar vortex this past week, bringing in several inches of snow and temperatures in the negative. Even worse, it's kind of cold in here. Maybe the real project that this place needs to figure out is how to turn the thermostat up. I mean, come on. Just kidding, Joe Anderson, owner of the Comedy Project. Don't fire me. I remembered to wear long johns under my jeans.
Last week was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, or as Trump likes to call it, January 19th. It's actually the 40th observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which means 40 years ago, racism was solved, and nobody's ever been racist since, which is great, right? Well, that's what the official White House seems to think based on the AI pictures of Trump hobnobbing with MLK and Malcolm X.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Bad news, Donnie. These guys would have absolutely hated you. Can't blame a guy for having a dream, though, can we? I'm glad I get to say that at the comm that's after Martin Luther King Jr. Day and before Black History Month. So thank you, Sean Francis. But even if that dream is just actually having black friends that aren't your employees, anyway, it was extra ironic watching everyone cheer on ICE on their social media and share one or two quotes from Dr. King that made him feel warm, fuzzy, and ignore all the other ones. Oh, wow.
He had a lot.
All right.
Anyway, to say that the Minnesota situation is ongoing and escalating would be an extreme understatement. ICE isn't content to just kidnap children and terrorize families of innocent, undocumented, and legal citizens without discretion. They're openly murdering innocent people in the streets. And not just the two white people you've seen the posts about. Here's a full list of all the casualties of ICE in 2026 alone, which has been 26 days. Isn't that great? Plus 32 deaths in 2025. Now, in the past, a different sort of president might have felt the need to inform the nation of such harrowing news. He would call a press conference, gather around the fireside, and deliver an inspiring message. Now we get this. A dementia-riddled pedo protector, which is a legally correct term, blaming the radical left and threatening the Insurrection Act from the White House toilet, which he thinks he owns.
Speaking of, a couple weeks back, Trump yelled, "Fuck you," to a Ford factory worker and flipped him off after the worker called Trump a pedophile protector. Here's the thing. Trump fully responded to the words pedophile protector as if that was his nickname in college. This is like getting mad because someone said, "Idiot says what?" and you said, "What?" The employee has been suspended for his outburst, but his union sent a pretty clear message back to his bosses at the plant. Shout out UAW. Union strong.
Trump also announced his new Build Back Better. Sorry, that was Biden. It's the Oh, no, that's not a joke. It's the Great Healthcare Plan. Good Lord, this guy doesn't know any other adjectives, does he? The plan promises a lot, but doesn't say exactly how, other than they'll just send back billions of tax dollars to the American public so they can buy their own plan, which it sounds exactly like a plan a 14-year-old libertarian would suggest, and that's supposed to lower drug prices. Or maybe most people just buy a bunch of Vernors, NyQuil scratch-offs, and hope for the best.
Hit that for you, Drew. All right, now the last time the government has handed out billions of dollars to raise billions of dollars to the American public after a health crisis, vendors across the nation took advantage and raised their prices, and everybody hated it, but this time it's different. Because I was really hoping the sentence would find itself, the damn ellipses here, you got us again. But you just gotta cross your fingers and hope that the kind-hearted Sackler family has love and mercy in their hybrid robot hearts.
I believe they do. Donald Trump announced he is forming a board of peace with Marco Rubio, Tony Blair, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and AJ Banga. He named the group Board of Peace because the Sinister Six was already taken. First action of Board of Peace, figuring out how invading Venezuela and Greenland don't actually count as acts of war. Here's a real image of their first meeting. I think they'll be able to figure it out. Oh wait, that's me. Two British influencers, Josh and Jace, have gone viral for exploring West Michigan for the first time, and not surprisingly for being arrested by ICE. They said they especially liked the Grand Castle apartments because it really reminded them of home. Same thing. But as soon as they left Metro GR, disaster struck and Josh or Jace, I can't be bothered to tell the difference, wound up in the ER for pinched nerves and herniated discs. Looks like somebody had a little too much fun trying to ride the fish ladder. By Jove, a whole ladder of fish. I hope they have chips at the top. Chim chom cheerio. I don't think those are real words, but they were written.
Famous rock climber, or at least famous among those who follow rock climbing, which statistically is one or less of you, Alex Honnold climbed Taipei 101, the skyscraper in Taiwan, successfully. It's more impressive considering Netflix had polls during their live stream like, what should we throw at him?
26 men, including 15 former NCAA players, have been charged with conspiracy to manipulate college basketball games, and yet the bunny that took a performance-enhancing drug called Michael's Secret Stuff is getting away scot-free. Double standards.
In other sports news, a former Winter Olympic snowboarder has been accused of being a drug kingpin and has since been arrested. Whether this turns out to be true or not, one thing's for sure. He loves some white powder.
The NHL champions, Florida Panthers, visited the White House and all dressed up like Trump, single-handedly undoing all the progress heated rivalry has done.
NewsFlash! I've always wanted to say that.
Do it again.
Oh, I gotta, where was I at, actually? NewsFlash. Thank you. A man has trained crows to attack people wearing MAGA hats. He was quoted, he did this, yeah. When asked why he did this, he said, there's no longer a moral option. Welcome to the resistance, Dr. Doolittle. Next up, a wave of nostalgia took over social media last week with people posting pictures from 2016, reminiscing on more optimistic times. Curiously, all the girls I follow did not post their 2016 full beat glam looks. I didn't forget your holographic highlighter, Kylie. I didn't forget your blocky eyebrows, Carly. If you're upset by that joke, just know that I wrote it. And the 2016 glam look is as iconic as 1980s hair and makeup.
Last year, we had many beloved Grand Rapids businesses closed down, such as Turnstiles, Creston Brewing, Wiseman Distillery, Rockwell Republic, 40 Pearl, the Greenwell, and the General Wood Shop. All of these businesses were favorites in the community, but closed down due to significantly high rent increases.
And I understand that this is unfortunate. Some of you may be sad, and some of you may think this is a normal process in municipal microeconomics. But I want to take a moment to share tips that businesses can use to mitigate rent increases by talking about the Comedy Project's landlord. who is also the most handsome landlord in the world. This is also the first time I'm seeing this person. But I do know, without seeing him, that our landlord is a very smart man. And our landlord is actually the executive who made the decision to cancel The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And while that may be an unpopular decision amongst the masses...
Ignorant masses.
Thank you. I think the decision is correct, and our landlord is a deadly combination of handsome and intelligent.
I'm pretty sure our landlord went to Harvard, too.
No, he went to Yale for his undergrad and then Stanford for his MBA.
Can't you get an MBA anywhere?
You can, but only the smartest go to Stanford. The S in Stanford stands for smart, just like the L in laughter stands for lovely landlords.
Donovan, I don't think laughter is spelled with 2 L's.
Can you read the room? We're trying not to have the rent go up.
I'm reading the room, and I learned how to read because our landlord actually taught me how to read.
Hooked on phonics? More like hooked on property management.
That's funny, Donovan, but we know our landlord is funnier. But he didn't actually teach me to read. He actually gave my school a grant to fund their reading program, and my school was in ruins before our landlord helped. But from the rubble and his financial contributions, I learned how to read. Plus, I remember he'd visit our school once a year.
Anyways, we need to run through the next few stories before we bring out the entertainment that is sure to please our landlord.
Sure thing. Our next story, People's Magazine's Sexiest Man of 2026, our landlord! Yep, if I could use one word to describe our landlord, it'd be sexy.
And if I could use 7 words, I'd say, love that smile. He has great teeth.
And moving on.
Next story, the only rich person that wasn't named in the Epstein files, our landlord.
Impressive! You don't see that nowadays.
Right? And our final story tonight, are these rent increases really damaging communities, or are they a necessary pay raise for wealthy landowners who work so hard to keep this roof above our heads?
That's right. Some may say the rent is too damn high, but you know what we say at NewsFlash?
The rent is perfectly fine where it's at. Please don't raise the rent, Mr. Big Sexy.